On this episode of the Chem Life, we're going to be making rayon through the copper ammonium method, and this is a continuation of a previous video on how to make Schweizer's reagent. So if you haven't seen that, you should go see it now. The link is in the top right, just click that now. Otherwise, we're going to make it here. So what we're going to need are a few basic things, including the Schweizer's reagent from the previous video. So to begin, what we're going to need is some cellulose. In this case, I'm just using toilet paper. We're also going to need the Schweizer's reagent from the previous video. Now, the way to start is to draw some of the reagent up in a pipette and begin to moisten the toilet paper or other cellulose that you choose to use. Continue to use this until you have sort of a goop. Continue adding cellulose and then Schweizer's reagent until you have a very large amount. The more the better, but about 2 inches in a beaker is good. Next, add about a gram of copper sulfate, and you'll see it immediately turn this very, very dark blue color instead of the more pale blue of the mush beforehand. If necessary, you can add ammonia if you see copper hydroxide starting to form. After about a month, filter out the solution so you have this perfectly clear blue liquid. This is the complexed cellulose in the Schweizer's reagent. Now, to get it out of the complex, we're going to need an acid. So I'm going to be testing acetic acid, hydrochloric, and sulfuric. This is acetic acid. So draw up some of the filtered cellulose solution in a pipette and slowly begin to drip it into the beaker of acid. For acetic acid, you can see these nice long spindly fibers form immediately as the reagent hits the solution. For this next test, this is hydrochloric acid, and you can see that absolutely nothing happens. It just destroys the cellulose. Now the final acid is the suggested acid, which is sulfuric acid. It works significantly better, and you're going to be able to see that quite clearly momentarily, that as soon as the complexed cellulose comes in contact, that very large amounts of fibers start to form. It isn't evident immediately, but after a certain concentration of cellulose is present in the solution, you can see a massive amount of cellulose forming. So here is the finished cellulose solution, and here's a comparison between the three acids. You can see the only one that really worked well was the sulfuric acid. Now, the final step is to filter through the rayon to collect it, and I would do this fairly quickly as the sulfuric acid will eventually begin to react with the cellulose and decompose it. So the sooner you get it off, the better. And it's also very good to wash this solution constantly as it's filtering through. And when you're done, you can collect your rayon, and you can see these nice long fibers, continually rinsing to remove the yellow color. Now, for those of you who are wondering what rayon is and what it's used for, there's a good chance you're probably wearing some. Rayon is a semi-artificial fiber made from cellulose and a slightly different method, and is used to make clothing. Now, I hope you've enjoyed another The Chem Life video. Please subscribe, rate, and comment, and check us out on Twitter or our website, thechemlife.com.